We're blind to what truly allows us to access the earned efforts or the true intrinsic meaningful processes and ways of obtaining that meaningful, satiating, satisfying interest. Interest is a intrinsically rewarding positive emotion, so it doesn't necessarily need an explanation for why it's gratifying. But if you're engaged in interest, it's a feel-good sensation. You don't need to really explain too much about why that's a positive thing. Even like when you hear the term interest, you're like, okay, probably this person is probably having a good emotional experience, probably generally kinder to them than say a negative experience like fear, though even fear itself could be positive, especially if you take interest in what you're afraid of. And this is an important way of immunizing yourself to fears, but also confronting your fear, is to become curious and interested in it. And this is also often what you hear a lot in more of the Buddhist type philosophies in particular. And probably going to be discussing the differences between spirituality and religion and philosophy, and I'll discuss a little bit about the history and some of the philosophy from Buddhism that's really very important to understanding some of these ideas associated with the information that exists within qualia, and how indifference is very important to understanding how we can cultivate a greater understanding of ourselves, but also reduce unnecessary suffering in association with that. And primarily that's done through recognizing interest as a positive emotion, but a positive emotion that doesn't really necessarily need to have this label of positive or negative. And it's transcendent and deeply meaningful through engaging directly in any potential thing, simply through being open and curious and attentive to the information within the quality of the experience that allows us to flexibly modulate the affects. And interest is a complex emotion as well as it is a basic emotion that can contain every potential emotions and develop these various constituencies of emotion that are direct to our interests and vital for optimal learning and optimization of the learning process. And when we engage in our existential interests, insofar as they are individually different and they pertain to our strengths, and more so our cerebral proceedings and contemplations associated with what we find